carbon tax theme, and the news today that Queenslanders stand to save between $178 and $246 a year on their electricity bills with the removal of the carbon tax. That's right, the same tax that will cost Australians $11 million a day until Bill Shorten can come to his senses and remove it for the sake of the Australian people. Now, the carbon tax hits everything that uses power, self-evidently. That includes hospitals. And state figures show that between $1,500 and $2,700 a year per bed is the cost of the carbon tax. This is money for large hospitals up to $1 million that can be hitting the health system that could be spent treating patients. I want to make two very brief references today to social policy. These are shadow ministers that I'm referring to that have had their briefs and their portfolios for years, but still stumble around in the detail. Last week, we saw Kate Ellis defending the indefensible. That's right, that was the early years quality framework, remember? The Quality Fund, where we had the smash and grab, where childcare centres in the know could get 2-year pay rises, just enough to get through the election, but not to get you to the next one. And they defended that as great social policy. And then yesterday, we saw the extraordinary attack with Labor criticising the extended Medicare safety net. That's right, once you hit a certain threshold, 80% of your out-of-pocket, out-of-hospital costs are covered by the government. And Labor, though supporting the bill, attacked this as helping the rich. That's right, helping the rich. I mean, what they forgot was that most Australians enjoy a quality public hospital system that has no out-of-pockets. The whole point of a Medicare safety net is to look after people with precipitous out-of-pockets. And so often, those that are in public hospitals or being bulk billed don't have any out-of-pockets. That's the point of our system. No charge up front for bulk billing and no charge to go to a public hospital. So once again, a misguided attack from Labor. The extended Medicare safety net is a really important part of our health system.
What do you think the consequences would be for Clive Palmer? Who makes it more difficult for you guys to repeal the carbon tax in the New South Wales?
Well, like all crossbenchers, we will have to convince him it's the right thing for Australia. Like all crossbenchers, they'll negotiate pretty hard, and you'd know from Australian political history that if the government is good at dealing with crossbenchers, it gets its agenda progressed and it gets its legislation through.
John Madigan told the Senate last night that the government are allegedly crossbenchers. Do you think that Tony Abbott should take some tips from Julia Gillard about negotiating in good faith with crossbenchers?
Well, I think if you're going to get anywhere, it has to be negotiation in good faith. I mean, it's a human relationship, isn't it? And it's going to be built on reciprocity. So if there can be good faith communication and negotiation, then you'll not only succeed with that current bill, you'll build a relationship to get future bills through. But I'm pretty confident that we shouldn't be mixing up the comments of Mr Madigan, Senator Madigan, with the reality that we are just absolutely determined to get this bill through. And some strong language may well be required, but we are speaking on behalf of 15 million people who gave their verdict end of last year.
Do you welcome the cancellation of a speaker who was apparently advocating for honour killings? That's really famous.
Look, apparently, according to him, in his defence, he wasn't advocating honour killings, he was exploring the issue. So it's really hard to know what we've actually cancelled. If what he's describing is different to what the organisers have cancelled. Look, in the end, we live in a nation with freedom of speech and ideas. I'm always going to fall on that side unless it's actually advocating something that's illegal. If he's advocating, it is illegal. If he's exploring the issue, it's not.
What do you make of Tony Abbott's calls for Islamic and all religious leaders to spruik Australian ideals a bit more often and prominently?
Well, I think our religious leaders play a pretty important role in our system, in an open democracy where freedom of religion exists. I think he may be, referring to identifying the common values that bring us together rather than those that separate us, and that's particularly in the context of what's happening overseas. And I'm also mindful that we have this possibility that there are Australians, going to get involved in jihadist activities in Syria, in Iraq, and that's an enormous concern. So in a nation that promotes moderate thinking, we want to be making sure that our religious leaders don't depart from that. Thanks very much.